Hello, Scary Dolls.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Caro.
And you're listening to Scary Not Scary Podcast.
Welcome.
We are back.
Yay.
Again.
Hello.
Again.
Welcome.
What's that one song that says, JD's back?
Back again. Tell a friend.
We're always taking breaks. Sorry. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So, like I posted on Instagram, we've been on break because Sabrina started chemo. She's doing really good. She's starting her second round. So we thought before she starts her second round, we can pop in and do a quick episode.
Yes.
We're doing a quickie real quick.
A quickie.
You know, we love those quickies.
This is a quickie, scary, not scary episode.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. What happened?
What thing?
Oh, you said, oh gosh. And we're like, what?
What?
Because, you know, last time we were in here, shit popped
I
off.
heard.
Wait, was that the last episode posted?
Yes.
That was the last
It was.
episode posted. And I want you to know that I'm still not finished listening to it because I had to stop so many times.
Oh, so you
Yes,
didn't listen to
stop.
the good parts? And we're recording in the same room in the dark with red lighting.
Tim made it all like creepy looking now. I mean, it looks cool, not gonna lie.
It looks real cool.
But it's got like this spooky vibe now.
At least it smells good.
Yeah, it does. Thanks,
He lit
Tim.
a candle for us.
He
That was
did.
nice.
Smells good.
We did.
I'm a little stuffy, but because I
So,
just
yeah, so
downed
we
hot
heard
Cheetos.
She sure did. So we heard the scream coming from there.
The closet.
But like in the laundry room. Like it was coming from the laundry room. Because behind this closet is my laundry room. So that's where we thought Tim and Sabrina were. But it just kept, the scream kept going. And we
So-
were like,
People were saying, oh, like, because my friend heard it, Noreen, she heard it, and she said it kind of at first sounded like a siren, but I told her, Tim cut it. Like, it wasn't a siren because it was like a long, like, Tim
Yeah.
had to cut it and edit it, but it was like a long, like, wee, like
And
a
it wasn't
long
like-
yell.
like when you hear the sirens outside, it fades out. 'cause
Yeah.
it's driving by. And it didn't do that. It just stayed there. And it's pretty long. He said it was like a good minute or two.
Yeah.
He cut it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's why
What?
he cut it to that short little. But when I first heard the episode, I was like, it wasn't this long. But yeah, no, Tim cut it because Mandy was like, yeah, it took up like a whole minute of just a scream.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, it was so weird.
And then you hear the knocking.
yeah, the knocking was literally right behind me, and then me and Mandy afterwards cleansed the whole house. But nothing happened afterwards,
Outside,
right?
all the inside, outside, everything. We cleansed everything.
Everything. We were outside like crazy people, and the people over here in the church were
At the
just
church,
staring.
we were
like, what the
staring
fuck?
at it.
We were like-
I was there with my candle, and God was there with the sage, and I'm gonna have the flashlight because it was dark outside because we don't have our light right here on
It
the
was
side of the
late
house
too.
turned
It was
off.
like 9
Yeah.
or 10.
Thank
And
God
that's
I was not
what's
here.
so creepy too is that the light on the side of the house turned off, and it's usually on, and it was turned off that night, and then we heard the scratching and all that.
Fuck that shit.
No, really, it was just so random. But we cleansed.
Yeah.
Everything was good afterwards.
Yeah,
But that was
we're
a good
good.
episode. If y'all haven't heard it, click on back.
Oh my God. So I woke up Saturday with like 4 dots on my shoulder, and I told Tim I got abducted by aliens.
I got
I know I did.
Probably
It
did.
was like 4 dots. It was like straight, like in like a straight line. I don't even know if I still have them.
Really?
Show me them titties.
I have to look. But yeah, it was, and I should have taken a picture of them.
Yeah.
But I was like, Tim, look. And he's like, wow. I was like, I was abducted by aliens. And he comes to me, and I showed him, and it was like 3 or 4 dots, like all in a row.
Aligned.
Perfectly lined. It was probably more than that, but it was like
Creepy.
perfectly aligned going down like this. Or it was this way. I can't remember. And Tim's like, punch me in the arm. What if you have a bionic arm? I'm like, oh my God.
Bionic.
Bionic arm.
So I punched him, and he goes, it didn't hurt. I was like, oh, you're so cheesy.
It hurt the
Oh
same
my
as all the other
God.
times.
He's like, well, punch me, like really punch me. I was like, no, what if I make your arm fall off? Who's gonna edit? I'm just kidding.
We need somebody instead of I hope you're okay. So who's gonna edit the podcast? What
hell
happened to
no.
me? Something scary happened to me. I'm trying to remember. Oh, so when I didn't tell anybody, but my grandma fell. And she was on the floor for a while.
Yeah.
And then my cousin randomly went to go check on her. Well, anyway, my grandma was saying that when she was on the floor, she saw a little boy in a striped shirt running around. Mind you, we don't live with any kids. We don't have kids. I mean,
Like
the
little
only kid
kids.
is my cat. So she was saying that every time like she would close her eyes and then open them, there was like a little kid in a striped shirt running around. And I was like, what the fuck? That's so weird. And then that same night that it happened, I was sitting on the table and my mom was telling me what happened to my grandma because she was on the floor. My cousin happened to stop by and saw her and picked her up, whatever. She was telling me the story. And then she also told me what was happening with the little kid. And there's a cup next to me. And I kid you not, the cup like slid forward and like it just by itself, it just slid forward. It was a heavy ass cup too. It just slid forward and moved like towards me, and I was like, thanks. Like, what is this? It was just like random. My mom's like, no, like she's like, there's probably water. You know how when there's water on the table and it slides, but there was no water.
That's with light cups.
Yeah,
not
it was
heavy
a
ones?
heavy cup, and it just slid next to me, and I was just sitting there like, bitch, what the fuck? I never really see stuff inside my grandma's house, but I mean, my uncle died there and my grandpa died there, so.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. But as far as a little kid, I don't know of a little kid that died there. So I don't know where he came from. He's probably like, hey, stopping on by.
Oh, no.
Is that sub grandma?
Sup,
So,
girl?
Grandma.
Sup, girl?
Hey, grandma, I need me to call 911.
That one day my grandma wasn't wearing her freaking life alert is the day she falls.
She has a life alert.
She does.
That's good. I need to
Yeah.
buy my both of them one because they live so far. And my grandma too, she's getting to the point to where like she doesn't feel good. And then when my grandpa falls, if he's by himself, I think they both need one.
Yeah.
No, it really helps. It's turning into a lesson, but yeah, no, it's important. They make you call every month. You press the button and it calls like the fire department, and then you're like, "Hi, just testing the life alert."
Oh,
And
that's
then they're
good
like,
to make
"Okay,
sure it
thanks."
works.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's good.
they make you do it monthly, like a test run.
So
Yeah.
speaking of grandmas, my grandmother had been home by herself because my grandpa was in a rehab center. He's back home now, but he was in a rehab center to build his upper body strength so he can try to like stand up and walk. And she said that she got home pretty late, and she said that she has two big German shepherds, but the main one, her name is Summer. And she's very protective, like she's their guard dog. And she's very protective of my grandparents. And she was like sitting at the door. And so they have this little Chihuahua mix. His name is Peanut.
No.
He's so tiny. He's like the size of like maybe my whole hand and like my wrist. Like that's how tiny he is. But he thinks he's like a big German shepherd.
Of course they do. All Chihuahuas
But
do.
he's so sweet at the same time. So my grandma said that she was getting ready for bed, and then she heard something jump on her roof, and like she heard like. She said it sounded like boots. Like if she was like if
Santa.
She was like,
Oh
like if
my
Santa
God.
Claus was like on my roof, right? Mind you, my grandma lives in Moore, Texas, so she lives out in the country. She's by herself. My grandpa's not there with her, and she's like, I don't know how to shoot a gun.
Oh, no,
My grandma, you
Grandma.
live in the country, really? She's scared of guns. But she said that she heard like something jump on her roof, and she heard like boots like walking around.
Footsteps.
Yeah, like
Oh my
footprints
gosh.
or like footsteps on her roof. She said the dogs were like going batshit crazy, and then she said it just got silence. Like there was no sound.
Fuck.
And so she said she crawled into bed and put the covers over her, and because she was scared. Well, then she said at one point she heard like somebody hit the side of her house, and then she heard them hit the other side of her house, and then and then it was still silent, and then suddenly the dogs got batshit crazy again. So she says she looked outside and like she didn't see anybody. Well, the next morning she found one of her baby goats, and something ate the two back legs of the baby goat. And she sent me pictures.
The
oh my
two
God.
back legs?
Oh my God, she sent me pictures of the footprint, a big ass footprint. Well, it turns out that the neighbor across the street told her that he killed two big bobcats in the land.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Huge bobcats. So she has a bobcat in her land, and it's like sneaking around. Like so, the baby goat. She was like, I don't have the heart to shoot it, but she said that she washed it up, and the baby goat was still alive, and like she was still standing up. Well, the next night, the thing came back and finished eating it. Yeah. So it's in her land.
I doubt that's a bobcat. Bobcats are not that big.
It is.
Oh, it
because,
is?
The neighbor, the man across the street when my grandpa was away at the rehab center, he saw that my grandma's grass is high. And so he told her, he's like, I think it's hiding in the grass. He's like, and that's dangerous, especially with you coming home kind of late.
Yeah.
It can get you. So he cut the grass for my grandma, and he said that like at 1 a.m. he heard my grandma's dogs like going crazy. So he started shooting like at the tall grass. And then he said that he got his truck, and she told me that he got his truck and he sat in her lawn, like in the yard, and was there from like 1 a.m. to like about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, just like watching, trying to kill it for her.
Yeah.
And then a couple of nights ago, my grandpa was already home at this point. So like a few nights ago, she said that she heard the dogs going crazy, but like at the front door. And she says she looked outside and she saw the cat. She saw the bobcat walking like in the front yard and like just looking at the dogs. But the dogs weren't protecting the animals. The dogs are protecting my grandma and grandpa because they're in front of the door, like barking and going crazy. So yeah, she's like, yeah, we need to get somebody to kill it. So the man across the street that lives across the street from her has been like trying to help her kill it. But I was like, Grandma, you need to be careful. Like,
that's a fucking bobcat.
Like, you cannot go home late. Like, y'all can't be outside late the way y'all used to. Like, I was terrified of like the coyotes that they have out there. And I'm like, fuck this. Like
fuck the coyotes. The fucking bobcat.
Me and my mom were telling my uncle yesterday, and he was like, yeah, no, I'm going to go out there and fucking kill that thing.
Yeah. Well, we
That's
are from South
scary,
San.
though, right?
Just kidding.
Oh, no.
That's so scary, right?
No.
Yeah, that is scary.
Let me show y'all the picture real quick before we get started.
See, that's why like I hated living out in the country when we did, because I'm like, you never know like what's fucking out there.
Oh my God, there's nothing left.
That's the footprint, or like the paw print.
Oh yeah, that's a bobcat.
Oh damn.
And then
We know
God
bobcats
damn.
too well since our high school mascot was a bobcat.
Holy
That
shit.
is scary.
Oh,
so it's like it had its claws out and it scratched.
Yes.
That's scary, right?
That is
Ugh.
scary.
I call my
Fuck
grandma. I'm
that.
like, Grandma, are you okay? She's like, yes, I'm fine. So she's like, I make sure I feed the animals no later than 5 p.m.
Good.
Fuck that shit, man.
Damn. And then especially this time change, it's dark at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
almost.
Exactly.
Like 5:36.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to feed them at 2.
They're all hungry.
They can wait till the next morning.
They'll be fine.
They'll survive.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, so today we are talking about, what was it?
Unsolved mysteries.
This topic is so exciting to me. It makes my nipples hard.
Because there's a lot of unsolved mysteries out there.
There are
A lot. And
There's
a lot
a
of good
lot.
ones. It's so hard to choose.
I think we should do a live show of unsolved mysteries.
Yes.
Because there's a lot.
I second that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch. There was like, I couldn't choose. I was like,
Yeah. Me too.
And they have a TV series, a new one on Netflix called Unsolved Mysteries. But there's an older show called Unsolved Mysteries as well.
Yeah.
And then I'm on a group on Facebook, Unsolved Mysteries and Unsolved Crimes. And
Really?
like new unsolved mysteries pop up like every day. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I'm going to invite y'all to it.
Yes.
I guess I'll invite y'all to my club.
I
can
was
be a part of the club.
expecting an invite a
kidding.
long time ago.
Well, because like there's some groups
For
out
real.
there that seems like they have stuff and there's like no feeds.
No
so-
movement.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just kind of there. But this one's like been updating like for the last 2 days. So I'm like, okay, I'll bring my peeps over.
My peeps. Oh God, here I go singing.
People.
Okay, so I'm starting this off today. Are y'all ready? This is one of my favorite stories.
I'm ready.
Okay, SpongeBob. Okay, so today I am going to be talking about the Max Headroom signal hijacking. So this happened November 22nd, 1987. So about 34 years ago. One of the strangest incidents in TV history happened. So 2 local Chicago stations had their broadcasts briefly interrupted on separate occasions by a video recording of a masked man. He was acting a little crazy. So he was wearing a Max Headroom mask. That was a tongue twister. The first intrusion was on WGN TV, Channel 9. This happened at 9 p.m. This happened during a sports segment. So the man that was doing the segment was like doing recapping a game between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. So suddenly he's talking and the signal goes dark. Then a video of a masked man comes up, but there's like no audio. just like a buzz, and it only lasts about 30 seconds before the engineers were able to override the hack and return to the normal broadcast. The sports anchor, his name was Dan. He was shocked. And when he came back on the screen, he was like, well, if you're wondering what happened, so am I. And then he just like resumed with whatever he was talking about. 2 hours later at 11 p.m. during a rerun of Doctor Who on PBS, the masked man appeared again. So this was a whole different station. It was late. There was no engineers on site to stop whatever was going to happen. And it lasted about a minute and a half. So this man started talking gibberish in like a creepy voice. And let me pull up because I wrote down what he was saying. So he says, and mind you, he's kind of just talking. So if it makes no sense, it didn't make sense to me either. He was just like, that does it. He's a freaking nerd. And then he starts laughing. And then he says, I'm better than Chuck Swirsky, whoever that is. You freaking liberal. And then it's like, oh, Jesus. And then he starts holding a Pepsi can and he's like, the new Coke slogan, catch the wave. Like he's just saying random stuff. And then he's like, your love is fading. And then he starts humming a song. And then he says, oh, I just made a giant masterpiece for the greatest world newspaper nerds. So he's just doing random shit, throwing stuff at the camera. And then he puts on a glove. And then somebody else comes and he's like, they're coming to get me. And then he's like, come get me, bitch. Like, it's just like random stuff. Yeah. And then the way it ends is he's like, showing his ass and someone is spanking him and they're saying bend over, bitch.
What? I wish I was there to see this.
And then it says all these people watching in Chicago were so confused, like what the hell is going on? They were shocked, confused, and some people were mad. Some people were like, damn, whatever, this fucking interrupting my Doctor Who episode. Like some people were so mad, and some people actually were like calling this a masterpiece. They're like, whoever did this is a fucking genius. There was investigations done, but there wasn't really much evidence. Since it was late, there was no one in the studio. Like it was just, it just happened. The FBI was involved, but since it wasn't a threat, there wasn't really much to do. And that's what makes this one of the most, I guess, funny. I think it's funny. Unsolved Mysteries. So I'm going to play the video for y'all because I know you haven't seen it.
I haven't.
So I'm going to play it in big screen for you. So hold on.
In big screen.
And that way you guys can hear just like how random it is.
Yeah. And we'll share it on our Facebook VIP page as well.
And so this one was the second interruption?
Yeah. So the first one, I feel like he was trying to see if it worked maybe.
Yeah.
But since there was people working, it was so early. I guess early, it was 9 p.m. There's people there, the engineers that were like on site to just like
turn it off.
Turn it off.
What if like the engineers, they're just chilling, like this, and they're like, oh fuck, and they have to like go. Can you imagine? They're just chilling.
Like Homer Simpson.
Oh
chilling there eating a donut.
I know, that's how I literally pictured it. They're like, what the fuck is going on? But
that's hilarious.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on. This is the Doctor Who. Oh, there it goes.
Ooh.
He flicked off the camera.
You know who he looks like? The guy, the Rickroll guy. My files. Oh my god. Is that a fly swatter?
Yeah.
Oh, he's faking it with his fly swatter. What the fuck?
And that's it.
And scene.
And scene. So this man in a Max Headroom, I guess that's his name. I don't know who that is, but I guess he was a famous man to have a mask made of him, you know?
Wow.
So, and nobody knows who that is. And I wonder, like, if he's ever speak out, like, hey, that was me 30 years ago.
On his deathbed,
Right.
he probably did.
He had a nice ass, though. It was nice and shiny.
It was nice and plump.
He waxed before he went on.
Yeah, he probably
He
did.
shaved.
He did a facial,
shaved.
an ass facial. Oh my god.
He was glossy like a donut.
Oh
He had
my
a
God.
hydrofacial on his ass. But
Dude,
that was
that's
my story.
funny.
The hijacking of the Max something. I forgot already. But and I don't want to open my tablet again. There you go. Unsolved mystery.
I love that.
That's crazy.
It wasn't scary. I didn't choose a scary one this time for you.
There was
Welcome
another
back.
one that I remember was on the news. It was somebody put that the dead was coming back to life. They did like a zombie broadcast. I don't know if they ever found that person or not. Maybe they did. I can't remember. Somebody from like their, actually I think it was somebody from like their garage or something. They hacked into like
Really?
the news feed. Yeah,
Fucking weird.
I love that.
Imagine. I bet it's hard to do that now, like because with phones and all that kind of stuff, I'm pretty sure someone would find
the
them
satellite.
instantly.
They probably upgraded the satellites too to zoom. That's
They're
them
like,
right
we
there.
got it. We got it.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm doing the unsolved mystery of the devil's footprint. Okay, it happened in February of 1855, and it was actually in the East and South Devon, England, and it was after a really big snowfall. And the people noticed like overnight. So it snowed and like this big old blanket of snow came. And then the next day, people noticed like these hoof-like marks that appeared in the snow. And that it went for a very long time. It was like between, they said 40 to 100 miles of nothing but just these hoof footprints. And so they were so called the devil's footprints by religious leaders that suggested they were tracks of Satan, and they made comparisons to a cloven hoof. So apparently a cloven hoof is like you know, like a cleft hoof, or like it's a hoof that's divided, so it looks like a
Like
not
two?
just, yeah,
Yeah,
like not
I
just
know
like
which
a
one.
horseshoe like hoof. It looks like an actual like, you know, with two little split toes or something like that. I think the pigs have those, don't they? Like the little split ones, I think. Anyways, so what had happened was they were about like 3 to 4 inches across and 8 to 16 inches apart. So they were saying like this was a big. It wasn't like a small little animal. It was like a big animal or something.
Well, yeah. How many inches?
Measured 4 inches long and 3 inches across, but they were 8 to 16 inches in between each other.
That's a big hoof.
Yeah, exactly. But the weird thing is that it was reported in 30 other locations across the Devon, England. So it wasn't just in that one area that they found it. It was like over 30 different like locations. So it was between houses. They saw them in rivers, haystacks, and it was like weird areas. So they were like, there's no way like a pig or like an animal could like, you know, like in the river, like they would get washed like from the river. You know what I mean? And it was like really snowy and cold. So there's no way there was an animal that could be out walking around like this whole entire area. So they published the story after like everything had happened. So they published it in May 26, 1855. And then after that, more people started like speculating. They were taking pictures, sending things in like, oh, we found him here. We found him here. And so the evidence, or like some little evidence that they do have, they actually talked about these hooves being found earlier, like in the year, like early back in the years, from a publication called, it was not a publication, a collection of papers. They belonged to a collection of papers to Reverend Ellicombe, and he was the vicar of the Clyde's St. George in the 1850s. So this little collection of papers documented tracings of footprints that matched these footprints that they found a few years later. So that's why they were saying it might have been Satan's like hooves.
That's creepy.
Yeah. So after that, like there was tons of like little articles and things that were coming out from like other people, like conspiracy theorists and like stuff like that. So some people said that it could have, which I don't believe this. I was like, how in the hell? That people were saying, no, it might have been like a balloon, you know, like that might have been like floating like in the...
A balloon.
A balloon.
That's dumb.
They said a balloon.
People are stupid.
Yeah. But they quickly said like, no, that couldn't have happened. People said hopping mice, that they thought it was like mice that could have been a kangaroo. Someone said a kangaroo, and I was like, it's freaking winter.
Oh
like,
my God.
A kangaroo in England. Like, come on.
Where are kangaroos?
no.
Africa?
Australia.
Oh, Australia. My bad.
Yeah, people
started
were
with
saying,
an A.
like, they were like, no, well, you know, because at first I was like, well, maybe it could have been like a kangaroo, like maybe. But then I was like, no, it's cold. This is in England. And then someone was like, oh, maybe they're like, you know how the birds migrate? Like maybe the kangaroos migrated. I was like, they don't migrate like that. Like, no, come on. So they were literally
weird.
throwing everything out, trying to figure out like what
Everything
caused
except
this.
the devil, right? They're probably scared.
They even said the closest one that came was a badger, because the badgers have like little actual feet, like not like hooves or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So they thought possibly it could be because since the badgers kind of like, what is it called? Hibernate-ish a little bit. Yeah. That it's probable that a badger could have come out and like awoken and was like hungry, so was going like searching for food. But they quickly like said no, that couldn't have been it. So these footprints showed up in 30 different locations. They don't know what kind of animal it was, if it was a person, if it was an animal. A lot of other people say it's Satan. Other people say it's like some kind of pig, because there are pigs in England, but they don't know specifically like what happened, who it was. And they've never seen them after this either. So it's just like a really weird mystery till this day that nobody knows what made those footprints.
Yep, that's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, what else could it be?
Exactly. And especially those types of hooves. Like, I was thinking when they showed a picture that it was going to be like the horseshoe like hooves, but it's like the little piggy ones. Like,
yeah, but just big.
Yeah, huge. And
Oh,
so I'm
that's
like,
so scary.
no. Like, no.
I mean, it was Krampus during winter.
It was.
It was Krampus.
That makes sense.
Oh my God.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. It was
It was
Krampus.
Krampus.
There you go. We solved it.
Scary Not Scary podcast. Boom, baby. We solved it. We solved the unsolved mystery.
There you go.
Use your paranormal imagination.
Paranormal imagination. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was Krampus.
It was
That makes
Krampus.
sense. Did they have
he have
missing
the hooves?
Oh my
All the
God, you
bad
should research
kids.
if there's any missing kids around that time. Investigate. Let's do it. Where was it at?
Oh my God.
We're doing it
Right now?
here, right
England.
now.
We're
Right
doing
here,
this
right now.
Devon,
live.
England.
Oh my God, while you do all the work, I'm going to eat a hot Cheeto.
1855.
Y'all could do all the work. I'm going to eat a hot Cheeto. My
Oh
bad.
my gosh.
Missing kids. What year?
1855.
Damn. That was a long ass time ago.
Disappearance of
There
Andrew
was-
Godsend.
Oh,
Charles
my
Kingsley.
God.
Around Australia?
Yep. No, in England.
I mean, England. Bitch, where's my brain?
Wow.
I lost my mind.
And Andrew Godsend's sister.
How many is that already? 4?
3.
Bitch, that's 4. 3 missing kids after this story.
What?
We figured it out.
It was Krampus.
It was Krampus.
Then
Yep.
those kids
were bad.
deserved it. Bye, kids.
Bye.
Don't say that. They didn't deserve it.
But what if they were really bad? If they were little assholes? Maybe they were little buttholes. Fine.
We're all researching.
I know.
Right?
Y'all are. I'm gonna drink pickle juice.
Yeah, because there's even been like scientists and like what are those people called? Biologists, marine biologists, like tons of all these scientists were trying to like examine the hoof prints and everything, and they can't figure out like
What animal
caught like made
Where
them.
did they find the footprint?
it just says Devon, England. Like the South Devon, England is what it says.
Was any of those kids there?
Well, they said this Gosden boy, he was 14 years old. They witnessed him walking through the park. And that's the last time anybody saw him. There's a couple of other sightings from him, but when he goes to school, he walks through the park, and then when he comes home, he comes through the park to go back home, and that's the last time anybody saw him.
Damn.
And it's pretty sad
that's scary.
because I guess he had like a rough upbringing. Like it looks like he was a troubled kid. So when he first initially went missing, the dad's like, he's not missing. He just ran away. And it turned out, yeah, no, he was really missing.
Oh, hell no. And then for the dad to be like, whatever about it.
Yeah. Poor kid. Yeah.
It was Krampus.
It was Krampus.
We got it.
We figured it out.
Thanks, Ashley.
I'm going to write a letter.
I love us.
We figured it out. It was Krampus.
Signed, Scary Not Scary.
Mandy, Ashley, and Gato. Kawaii.
Wink.
Legit.
Love ya.
I don't know what I would do if I would like saw footprints like
That big?
that big. Oh, that reminds me of so like we have the valet trash like outside our apartment, right? So you just put the trash bag there and they come get it. Well, my mom, the bag had like leaked out and she was like, oh my God. She's like, there's a bloody footprint by your door. And I was like, bitch, fuck no. Like there better not be. Like, are you serious? And she's like, yes. And I was like, okay, let me go look at it. So I went outside to go look at it. It wasn't a footprint. It looked like a footprint though. Like,
Oh, was it?
it legit looked, it was the bag had leaked out. So like, I don't know. They have like, I guess they paint the pavement or they do like the work to it. So it kind of like, you know, went around like the little grooves.
Oh, the
and stuff.
imprint?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The little grooves in there. And I was like, Mom, you made me scared for no damn
Girl,
reason.
It was the fossil footprint.
I was like, oh shit. Yeah. But she thought it was a bloody footprint. But I don't know what I would do if I saw actual footprints like outside my door. I would flip out.
Yeah.
I would tell Nick, we're moving. Let's go. Pack it up.
Pack your shit.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about spontaneous human combustion,
That was a good one.
also known as SHC. It sounds like a drug.
SHC.
Yes. So this is a pseudoscientific concept of the combustion of a living or recently deceased human body without an apparent external source of ignition. How do you say that? Ignition? Ignition?
I don't think it's ignition. That's a car
Ignition.
part.
Ignition.
It is a car part.
Yeah.
It's spelled the same.
Yeah.
So, in addition to reported cases, descriptions of the alleged phenomenon appear in literature, and both types have been observed to share common characteristics in terms of circumstances and the remains of the victim. So, scientific investigations have attempted to analyze these reported SHC, which is spontaneous human combustion, and have resulted in a hypothesis regarding that the potential causes of these mechanisms, including the victim behavior and habits, is probably alcohol consumption, that has a potential source of the ignition, as well as behavior of fires that might have been like around them at the time. But here's the thing, is that when these people combust, there's like when there's a fire, like things around you catch on fire.
Yeah.
But it's just these human bodies that are being caught on fire. Yeah, it's weird. So for several centuries, actually, people have debated whether human beings can spontaneously combust or burst into flames without being ignited by an external source. So the first known accounts of spontaneous human combustion date all the way back to 1641.
Damn.
The phenomenon gained wider exposure in the 19th century, and in more recent cases of the combustion have been suspected when police and fire officials have found burned corpses with unsketched furniture around them.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's weird, right? On the other hand, believers point to the fact that the human body has to reach the temperature of roughly 3,000 degrees in order to be reduced to ashes. Unless the combustion was a genuine factor, it seems impossible that furniture would not burn as well. So there's a lot of back and forth on this. So some of the proposed causes and supposed phenomenon include like there's bacteria in like a human body. static electricity, obesity, stress. And the most consistently is like the consumption of alcohol, but none have been sustained by science so far. So none of these theories have been even proven at all. Like that this is how like human spontaneous that it happens. Like there's none at all. There is this British guy, he's a biologist, his name is Brian J. Ford. He actually said in August 2012 that he said in a magazine called The New Science, he said according to him that it can be caused due to built-up acetone in the body, which can result from alcoholism, diabetes, or a specific kind of diet that can lead to this spontaneous combustion. But again, it has not been scientifically proven. And there's like a lot of there's this one, I forgot what it's called. It's called the Wicked effect. This hypothesis says that it's like a small external flame source, like from an open wound, and it can release like some kind of fat in your body can release like a chemical that can ignite fire. And that if you have like this certain amount of chemicals in your body, it can use your clothing as like a wick to start the fire. But it's only been proven on animals. So they tried it on pigs and it works on pigs, but you can't do it on human. But it's been proven with animals, but it hasn't been proven with humans. So that's like one of like the experiments. Like there's so many different things. Like, and then people are talking about, of course, like cigarettes. But obviously like a lot of people, when they fall asleep with their cigarette, everything around them catches on fire. It's not just their body and nothing else. So there's just a bunch of stuff. It's crazy. So there's actually a few cases I'm going to talk about. And there's a lot. There's probably like a total of 7. So Henry Thomas was a 73-year-old man living in South Wales when he came to his mysterious end in 1980. The policemen and forensic scientists deducted from this Thomas remains he had been sitting comfortably in his easy chair when he somehow caught fire near the top of his body and burned to death. It was an intense fire, and all that was left of Thomas were his legs below the knee and his skull. Oddly, his feet were completely unburned, and what was left of his legs still had clothing on it, and he still had socks on his feet.
What the fuck?
Weird.
Mind you, although there was evidence of fire in the fireplace, the fire did not spread around him, and the only part of his chair that was burned was the area he was sitting in. So when they took his body off, it was just like the imprint outline of his body burning. And then there was like another person that said, oh, well, maybe when he was lighting the fire, like some flames got in his hair and he didn't know that his hair was catching on fire until he sat down and took a nap, and then his whole body like turned on fire. And then somebody else was like, really? Like, come on. Like, if your hair is on fire, you're going to smell it. It's your fucking hair. Your hair, like, when your hair, I've burned my hair before with fire by accident, and it stinks nasty.
It does.
So come on, like.
Even if you leave the hair straightener on too long on your one piece, it starts to stink.
So they ruled out his death as death by burning, but there is no mention of spontaneous human combustion.
Those bitches.
Because there's people that fight on it. Even if there's like police in the fire department, they're like, I don't know what the fuck, like, I don't know what happened. I would be like, human combustion. That's what that was.
Yep.
There's another case. Robert Francis Bailey apparently experienced something similar about 13 years prior to Thomas. A group of office workers were waiting for a bus around 5 a.m. on September 13th, 1967, and they noticed flames in the upper window of a building. So, of course, they immediately called 911. The police and fire department rushed to the scene of the building. And they found the still burning body of Robert Bailey, a homeless man. The policeman first to the scene reported that there was blue flame that was being admitted forcefully through he had like a slit in his abdomen, and that his teeth were like clenched down on like the staircase. So it's almost like he fell, and like so his teeth were like clenched down because he like bursted into flames. So the fire department managed to extinguish him, forcing a hose into his abdomen cavity in order to put out the fire.
I thought you were
So-
gonna say ass.
No. No.
Oh shit. That's really a burning butthole.
No, there's no external means of ignition that were found on his body, and he was a non-smoker. He was a known alcoholic, though he was drinking it was denatured alcohol because it was cheap. So basically he was just drinking like the alcohol itself. Like,
God damn.
this is stuff
What
that
the
is like
fuck?
people use to ignite fires while camping or like to remove stains off clothes. So like there's one theory that says that it could have been like all of that alcohol in his gut that somehow busted and like caused like an internal flame. Or maybe he had like some acids that caused the internal flame. But like I said, it hasn't been scientifically proven, so they ruled it out as death by fire.
Dude, can you imagine like seeing somebody on fire like in their abdomen?
And then you can't do anything
And
about
it's
it.
blue flame. Like
Yeah.
blue flame.
Blue flame.
Blue flame.
Yeah.
Well, what else has a blue flame? Something with gas.
Gas.
Gas. Yeah,
Yeah.
like my
Stove.
gas stove.
So
Yeah.
there has to be a type of gas in those people's bodies
Has to be.
that is making them ignite like that.
But also, like, in a lot of these deaths, I did look them up, and I tried, because you know how sometimes they can have the autopsies online? I couldn't find the actual autopsies, but some of the theories is that obese, diabetes, alcoholism, all that. I guess for him, the only one that I found was the alcohol thing. But look how many alcoholics there are out there. You would think that there'd be more of these spontaneous combustions happening.
Yeah.
Because
isn't.
there are a lot of people who do drink straight alcohol.
And there's unfortunately a lot of people
And
with
also,
diabetes.
like, the
Yeah.
people that do the tricks, the gasoline with the fire.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
Yeah.
see them
What about them?
spontaneously combusting. And I'm pretty sure they have to swallow some of that gasoline because it's in their mouth.
You know, my mom works at a middle school, and she said they had to take the kids' hand sanitizer away because they would put it under their tongue to get drunk.
That's
Are you
crazy,
fucking
right?
serious?
I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Kids
I'm
were-
serious.
Kids were also getting drunk off of mouthwash
How? Asking for
because
a
it
friend.
has like the has, like, the
alcohol?
alcohol in it. Yeah.
What?
Kids, man.
Stupid asses.
Why not a Sharpie like in the... No, I'm kidding.
Why don't they
Just
smell
kidding.
like Sharpies like we used to? They gotta one-up us.
Not to get off topic, but I remember in middle school people used to sniff Kool-Aid. I remember that
Oh
was
my
like
God.
I don't know why people sniffed Kool-Aid.
I didn't remember that till now.
Holy shit. Why the fuck do people sniff Kool-Aid?
Like, get drugs like normal kids.
I remember one of my friends was like, oh, here, and he gave me a pin, and I was like, oh, this pin, what is this, Lucas? He goes, no, it's Kool-Aid. And I was like, oh, cool. So I was like eating it, and he goes, no, you're supposed to sniff it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not sniffing this shit.
What the fuck is wrong with
it's
you?
fucking Kool-Aid.
No. Dude.
That's weird.
So there's
Jeebus.
another case. Mary Reeser of St. Petersburg, Florida, was found dead in her home on July 2nd, 1951. Her landlady showed up at the door around 8 a.m. on July 2nd, and when she touched the doorknob to the apartment, it was alarmingly warm to touch. So she got no response from the inside, so the landlady called the police, and they found what was left of Mary's body in a chair, just like Henry Thomas. Part of her left foot remained, including the slipper it was encased in. Her skull remained as well, but some reports say the heat shrunk it down to the size of a teacup.
Oh, shit.
I don't mean to laugh,
Fuck.
but I just pictured Beetlejuice.
Wow!
Reports and evidence were sent off to the FBI, and they concluded that Reeser had taken sleeping pills, something she was known to do regularly, and then that's how they she set herself on fire with her cigarette after taking the pills. So that's what they're like, oh, it was an accident. So like she took her sleeping pills and then she was smoking, and like that's how she made herself catch on fire.
Like a reaction.
Yeah.
I don't believe that though.
No.
It's
That's
yeah.
gotta
So
be
University
something.
of Pennsylvania had another theory though. Someone had murdered her and then had pretty much burned her remains and then brought them back to the murdered her, took her out of the apartment, burned her outside of her apartment, and then took her burning body back.
That's too much work.
Yeah, that is too much work. I'm
I'm
gonna
like-
walk around with a whole ass body.
That's a lot of work. First, I would just freaking leave her ass in the woods.
Yeah.
Like, why would you take her back to her apartment?
I would just burn her there in the woods.
And also, like, I did do a little bit more digging on this lady's story, and there was no evidence of a break-in, in or out. So, and for the landlady not able to get in, come on, like there would have been some kind of sign of forced entry,
Yeah.
and there wasn't. So, yeah, get over yourselves. It was human combustion.
Exactly. People don't want to believe.
And because it's similar to the other guy
Yeah. Yeah.
in her chair.
Yep.
I mean, hey, new stuff happens every day. You just gotta learn what it is and try to study it. That's crazy.
I always sleep in the red chair in my apartment. I'm going to stop sleeping in my red chair.
So, I'm gonna kind of skip through because I can sit here all day and like talk about all these. But there's this one guy, Jack Angel, is a man who spontaneously combusted and survived.
What?
So,
Did they interview him?
at least they say that's his story in like quotations.
Okay.
Bitches.
Okay, don't believe him.
I know.
So he says he simply went to sleep in his trailer in a hotel parking lot and woke up 4 days later with burns and blisters all over his body, including a giant hole in his chest. He got up, showered, and walked over to the hotel where he collapsed. He woke up in a hospital and was so badly burned that his right hand became horribly infected and it was unsalvageable, so they had to amputate it.
oh my god.
He had to have his arm amputated at the elbow all the way to his hand. So from his elbow up, like he doesn't have anything. And however, this totally contradicts what Angel said in court when he sued the manufacturers of his trailer's hot water heater for $300,000. And so he sued the trailer company. But he did say that he did take a lot of showers. So supposedly he said that he was taking a shower when the water stopped, and when he went out to go check it, the pressure valve released and the hot water scalded him. But the doctor who examined Angel signed a report saying that Angel had burned from the inside out, not from the outside in.
Oh, fuck.
So they're thinking like
Weird.
he just like changed up his story to like get money, which I don't blame him. I probably would do it too. But, I mean, come on.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the doctor signed a report saying that no, he didn't burn from the outside in. He burned from the inside out.
I wonder how they can test that. Like maybe like was the inside does
Well,
the inside have to be less crunchy than the outside or more?
I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure. He had a hole in
Yeah.
his chest. So I'm pretty sure like if they had to do surgery on him, they probably saw.
How
The
you can
burns.
tell like
You
if
can
it goes
tell.
out or in.
You can like a bullet wound. You can tell.
Okay,
if
okay.
it
Like
comes
in or out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could see that like in person. I know it sounds gross.
So somebody was like, "Oh, maybe the doctor was mistaken, and he was really tired that day. That's why he signed the report." And
Bitch,
or it was
okay.
it was like a misspelling on the interpreter's part, and like when they heard
I know
his
for
reporting.
a fact the doctor would not sign a report if he
Exactly.
wasn't sure. That's their license on the line, people.
So
Stupid.
they were like, so did Angel really spontaneously combust and then try to pass it off as a faulty hot water heater to get money, or what the hell happened? I think he really did spontaneously combust, but just wanted money and changed up his story.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you're smart.
Yeah.
Because, and also too, like, I remember my dad was working on my car and he opened up the water tank and it, in his eyes. And, like, he reacted and he had to sit down and take a breather. Like, if that really happened to him, he wouldn't freaking fall asleep for, like, 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird.
It's weird. Yeah, so there's so many stories out there of spontaneous human combustion. There's even a video out there. I tried looking for it and I couldn't find the actual video, but there's actually somebody that's like riding a bike and like the street cam, I forgot where it's from. It's not in the US. It's somewhere, maybe like India or something. I can't remember. But he's riding his bike and he's like a delivery boy. And this guy goes up to him and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" Because you see him kind of like topple over and then he just bursts into flames.
Bitch.
So the investigators,
What the fuck?
the autopsy report said that he burned from the inside out. So like all his organs on the inside out
Were fried.
fried, and then the outside of him. So and then there's another theory that, oh no, somebody probably like ignited him with gas and set him on fire. Maybe the guy walking up to him like threw the match at him or whatever. But on his autopsy, it says, no, there's fire from the inside out.
Like the inside burned more than the outside.
Right.
Okay.
Holy shit.
That's weird.
So,
Imagine you're trying to be a nice person and then you just, and you're just like,
yeah. And then you get blamed.
you blame for it?
For killing someone.
Or like you get so mad and you just like burst into flames.
I mean, it's not funny, but it reminds me of the angry from the movie
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Oh, yeah.
And he just burns out.
But what if that
everywhere.
happens, you know?
Real life.
There's so many unsolved mysteries out there, and like, no, like this is spontaneous.
It's got to be something.
Combustion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
They
have
gotta
my
do
money on
more.
some sort of like chemical reaction thing.
in the body.
Yeah. Like there's got to be
Something.
something. Like maybe it's
Yeah.
like what is it? Like not a disease, but like I don't know, like a genetic
was it a
thing that
chemical
they
imbalance?
Yes, something like that.
genetically
That some
chemical
people
imbalance
have.
Or like the
something.
way I look at it is, you know, when people get hand sanitizer on their hand and light it on fire and you can't see the fire, like what if there's something going on in there that you do something and it triggers it and then you like...
Yeah, because like you have gases in your body.
Yeah.
Like when you
Yeah.
fart at a fire, it makes the fire. I mean, it's funny, but you make the fire go bigger. So there is
There's something.
igniting gases
Something.
in your body.
Maybe it's
We're
like
a
one of those,
walking
like,
bomb,
rare-
you guys.
Oh
We're a
shit!
walking bomb.
Damn, better live your life to the fullest.
Yeah, be a hoe. I mean,
One
no.
day you could spontaneously combust. Just make sure you're not on top of somebody when you're doing it or under.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a good way to go, though.
Oh my god.
Then that person could really say, "Man, that dick was fire." Imagine.
That's a good one.
Fire.
Bitch, I yelled and the little line went super high. Sorry, y'all. I yelled. Like, what a way to die with a dick inside you, I guess.
Oh my god.
A lit one.
Put me out.
Oh my god.
R. Kelly, don't pee on me.
She's never seen the R. Kelly documentary. I showed it to her last weekend.
Yeah.
See that? Oh damn.
Oh, we can restart it for you.
Yeah. He's a weird.
I've seen bits and pieces, not the full thing. Oh, that's funny.
I can't with y'all.
Listener discretion for this one. We're talking about penis. Thanks.
I love us. I miss recording with you bitches.
I know y'all miss me. Hello.
Oh my god.
I know y'all miss me. Hello, I'm hilarious.
No, I really needed this. Oh Jesus. Okay, so there's actually a listener story we got. I'm all rubbing my eyes.
Ooh, listener stories.
It's from...
Is it scary?
No.
Okay.
No, she said not so scary story. It's from
Okay,
Kat.
cool. Oh, okay.
My friend Kat.
Okay, we're good.
So she said, "Hey Mandy, Ashley, and Gato, I've been listening forever since like day one and I love y'all. I'm not sure if I've told Mandy this story and I probably have, but anyway, I wanted to share my first out-of-body experience. So it's kind of long, so you can shorten it. I was 16 when I lost my grandma, and she was basically my mom, my best friend, and the only person I told everything to. She had raised me since I was 8 months and was always very open with me. And she told me that she would die soon, and she knew it. She was calm about it and started introducing death to me at a very young age so that I could comprehend where she would go. We knew she was going to die the night before because she had asked for her breathing tube to be removed, fully knowing that it would be the end. We arrived shortly after 5 a.m. in the ICU room that she had passed in, and the nurse was so sweet and promised she had only passed 15 minutes prior and she wasn't alone. I had so much anger because I just lost my world. I approached her and held her hand. I whispered to my dad and aunt, "She's still warm. Maybe we can do something." No one listened. And I mean as an adult, I get it now, but I was hurt. I was a hurting teenager. The next thing I know, I can see myself crying. I'm looking at myself and I can see everything, including through the door. I immediately started kicking and screaming and throwing things. I made a mess in her room and I yelled at the nurse to bring her back. Finally, right before I went back to my body, I saw her. I saw my grandma in the corner of the room looking at me with so much love and sadness. She wasn't alone, but I don't know who was with her, just that they were holding her hand. I knew she was leaving and it hurt. When she disappeared, I was back in my body and nothing was wrong in the room. I've had maybe 3 to 4 of these experiences, and it's always been when I've reached a point of pain I didn't think I could come back from. I'm pretty much in touch with the other side and see a lot of things, some scary, but some not. But I just thought I'd share my story. Stay scary, Kat.
Stop. That was cute.
Wow.
I mean, sad, but yeah.
I kept messing up because my eyes are tearing up.
I know.
So she was like so like in grief that she like had an outer body experience.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like her soul was like
didn't know
screaming
what to do.
and yelling. And at that point she saw her grandma. Oh, Kat, I love you. I'm gonna go to Laredo and hug you.
We love you.
Yeah.
I wonder, I'm pretty sure like there's other. So that's like almost opposite of what was that? Astral projection. So it's like a form of astral projection, but you're awake.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I've honestly never like heard of that happening awake. I've always heard of things like when they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Or dreaming.
I'm gonna ask her for I'm curious on like what her other experiences were with that. She said that's 3 out of 4, right?
Yeah. Maybe she'll share it.
Kat, share with us your other experiences. I'm very interested. Yeah, because I've never heard of that. I've seen it on Doctor Strange.
Strange.
Where they hit him so hard his soul flies out of his body.
Yeah.
That's what I just pictured, like her soul coming out and she's just like throwing and hitting everything.
I have so much anxiety. If that would have ever happened to me, I'd be like, how the fuck am I gonna get back in?
You know what? Like, I can get that because you like it's horrible, but a lot of like rape victims or like childhood sexual abuse victims say that they have like an outer body experience, like their soul comes out of their body and they're watching it happen and they're just like somewhere else.
So that way they won't feel it.
So I guess it's kind of like the same thing. She was just in so much pain and anguish. Like
she didn't want to feel it.
Her body, like her soul left her body and like was grieving and like screaming somewhere else. It's interesting, right? Now I'm going to look up more stories.
Yeah, we should definitely. That is interesting.
Thank you for your story, Kat. We love you.
Thank you, Kat.
Thank you.
Scene.
That is interesting. I don't think we got any more.
I haven't seen any come across lately.
No. Yeah, guys, sorry. We were taking a short break. We're going to try to record here and there until everything settles. But I don't know. Maybe I'll record a couple bonus episodes by myself like a loser.
Yeah.
Anywho, if you have any unsolved mysteries you want us to cover, any other topics you want us to talk about, email us at scarynotScarypodcast@gmail.com. Follow our website, scarynotScarypodcast.com. Make sure you rate and review us on iTunes. Follow us on Spotify, Podbean, where we do our live shows. It's an app. Download it and then follow us on there.
Please.
You can follow us on all of our social medias platform, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. What else do we have? That's all we have.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all we have. At Scary Not Scary Podcast. And become a Patreon donor.
Yay.
We have a Patreon. It's one tier, $5 a month. You get all of these perks. Become a Patreon donor. We haven't posted anything on there yet because we don't have any Patreons. So,
but when we do, it's in the works. I'm working on it.
It's in the works. So yeah, if you become a Patreon donor, you get a lot of like behind the scenes footage. You get to bloopers. If you want to choose like a topic for us, I know we kind of do that now, but it's more like you'll get like a sneak peek or what the next week's topic is, stuff like that. We're trying to be creative. And also we have our merch. buy some of our merch at scarynotScarypodcast.shop. .shop. So in honor of the holidays and of course my Nicollo's birthday for the month of December, we are offering free shipping for the entire month.
Yeah.
Use free shipping. So you need to use the code Stay Scary and you'll get free shipping off your order for the whole month of December.
One word.
Stay
scary.
Stay scary. One word. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're gonna make a post on social media and like share it with everybody so you all know. But yeah, it'll be from December 1st through the 31st.
All December.
The whole month of December.
Lots of stuff to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think that's it.
That is all.
We love you guys. Thank you for being patient with us. Please don't combust.
Spontaneously.
Be careful with Krampus. And if you decide to interrupt a broadcast, let us know because we want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Hey, come on. I want to be a part of it.
Until next time, remember to always stay